Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Season 3 of Intoxicating Sports is underway. And my personal favorite, college football is back. So if you guys remember last year, I did a solo pod. I think 2 of them right before college football started, because I love college football. We don't talk a lot of it on our normal pods that we do weekly. It's more of professional sports, well, NFL. So I love it. Love doing this. This is going to be a full-out preview of college football. Ohio State stuff. It's going to be dope. Before I go through, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. If you're listening there, there's 5-star button. Click it. I think both of them have comment options. Comment. Am I missing anything? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. My goal is, I think we have like 78, 79. Let's get to 100. Let's get up to 100. Need some more awareness. Start reposting our shit. Okay. So I'm just gonna go through what we're going through. I'm gonna try to make this little, fast paced, which is kind of difficult when there's just one person talking, no one to go off of, but we'll see here. So this pod is after week 0 has been played of college football. This isn't time sensitive pod. Everything is end game, playoff time. Nothing is like week 1, make these bets week 1 type shit. No. So keep listening. This is all end game shit. So on the slate, I'm going to take us through, like I did last year, Ohio State's entire schedule. So we'll go through, we'll see if they go undefeated this year. Go through each game, talk through it, which ones are toughest. We have the new 12-team playoff this year, so I'm going to go through the formatting for it. There's rules within it. It's it's really fun as a very new thing. But yeah, I'll just get through it. It'll be good. I will then go through who I think will be my top 4 teams, because I'll say it later on, but the top 4 teams in the college football playoff will come from the Power 4 conferences, which is the Big 10, SEC, Big 12, ACC. And yeah, then at the, you guys just tell me how sweet I did, 4 for 4. I'm gonna make a bracket after this too, probably, like when they actually set it later on in the year. Go 12 for 12, tell me how sweet I am. It's gonna be fun. Okay, let's go. So, Ohio State schedule. I'm recording this on a Thursday afternoon. It should be up on a Thursday night, Friday morning. This is not a time-sensitive game to listen to this for Ohio State. We obviously play Akron 3:30 on Saturday. That's 2 days from now. We're like 50-point favorites. So there's literally, 50 points. That's probably what we'll put up. So we'll just see if we can hold them to nothing. Week 1, this is where you kind of just like see who you got, like who's gonna be your go-to guys, who's this dude, who's that, like there's always a guy like runs the ball, who the fuck is that type thing, which we know our running backs this year, so actually why don't I'll just go through what we're looking at for Ohio State this year. So really, we decided quarterback Will Howard will be our starter. He is the transfer from Kansas State. And Devin Brown, the guy you guys remember played slightly last year, will be his backup for now. That's so cringe when I say that because, God, dude, I just don't think Devin Brown is good. We also had 2 guys come in. We also had that Lincoln Keenholz guy. He's another guy on our quarterback roster. He played a little bit in that bowl game against Mizzou, and I don't even think he completed like a worthy pass, like a decent pass downfield. So he should, hopefully we don't need a backup or someone down the road. Two other guys that came in then, there's the freshman who transferred from Alabama, Julian Sayin. So he hasn't played a down yet. He enrolled early there and then decided to transfer here. 5-star, went to Alabama. Sounds promising. Same thing with, I think he is labeled now as a 4-star recruit. Air Noland is his name, is here as well. They were getting hyped, like both of them. Sayin and Noland, like, okay, they're big time, feeling like there may be like Braxton Miller or Terrell Pryor coming in and like starting, taking the position from Will Howard, like thinking big things, which, I mean, we've only seen that a few times. I think Braxton Miller and Terrell Pryor started like a few games after their freshman year, so they didn't even start. I think CJ Stroud started the very first game as a freshman, which is pretty fucking dope. And I feel like, JT Barrett can't start as a freshman at some point as well. I'm going through a history lesson right now, but moving on. Before I move on to other positions for the Ohio State, quarterback Will Howard. I actually kind of like. I love. If no one impressed, those two dudes didn't impress. I mean, Will Howard is the guy to pick. He's our biggest guy. I think he's 6'4", like 230, and he's by far more experienced quarterback. So he won a Big 12 championship at Kansas State 2 years ago. And that was when the Big 12 was Big 12, when they had Oklahoma, when they had Texas. So, I think it's the right option for now. It's just that during the spring game, nothing really popped off. You didn't really see anybody do anything, so it was just kind of annoying. Although we were playing our defense, which is top-notch. But running back, Stravion Henderson is back. He's a dog. Even if we didn't have him, then we get transfer Quinshon Judkins from Ole Miss, which is an absolute beast. So we'll have the best running back duo in the country with our new offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, who everyone's heard of Chip Kelly if you watch a little bit of football. You're like, that dude should be coaching he should be a head coach of a football team right now. And he decided to take the Ohio State offensive coordinating job. I think he'll be able to orchestrate our offense very well. I mean, if you have such a two-headed monster in the backfield like that, then that gives Will Howard way more options downfield. You're bringing coverage in. We have Emeka Egbuka back, one of the best receivers in the league. Jeremiah Smith is what all the cool kids are raving about. And he's a big athletic dude. I'm really excited to see him play. Carnell Tate's back. If you guys remember him, he didn't play too much his freshman year, but he's back. He should be pretty good. O-line, we have starters back. I think this dude dude by the name of Donovan something, and I'm so sorry, and I forget, but he's back. Fryer's back. We got the transfer from Alabama, starting at center. So we're experienced at the line. I know at times it looks shaky. I do think it'll be better this year, which is good because can't get the ball if we can't block. Defense is fucking loaded, dude. There's a mirror right here, and I'm looking at my dog chew this bone, and it just got me distracted. But the defense, loaded. I'm not even gonna go through all the names. We returned so many people from defense that we're absolutely stacked. We, got the transfer Caleb Downs, who came in to add. If you go down our roster, name by name, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I mean, this looks like an all-star team you put together type shit. So they were so good last year that it seriously shocks me, because every year we're like, oh, our defense should be better this year, and it never is. And last year it fucking was, which was awesome. And it's only going to get better. So we should have number one defense in the league. Yeah, so that's highlighting of Ohio State moving forward then. Get that right out of the way. Akron game I kind of skipped over. Yeah, we'll kill them, so it doesn't really matter. Akron 1-0. Number 2, week 2, play Western Michigan. This is a 7:30 p.m. game. This will be on a Big Ten network. And so you got to get that. Make sure you have some sort of login to get Big Ten to watch it. Saturday night, 7:30, week 2. I'm not really sure. They made this a night game for no reason. I mean, we're playing Western Michigan, but okay. I mean, let's put up another 50 on them. That's a win. Third week, we already have a bye. I feel like teams have a lot of bye weeks. I remember way back, like 15 years ago, you always had one bye towards like the end of the season. And now they always have these bye weeks put in weird spots. I don't know if anyone else feels the same, but I feel like it's changed. Week 4, we've got Marshall. So basically, we're just like cupcaking to start the season. Domination. Week 5 at Michigan State. Ooh, no. Michigan State has not been relevant for the longest time in college football. They're definitely not going to start now, especially with the Big Ten being what it is now. Harder, better teams, harder schedules. T-Nug. It's my dog's name, Chicken Nugget. So yeah, I mean, we'll blow them out. Then we start to get a little harder. We play Iowa week 6. Their defense is always great. Everyone knows that. Like, they breed linebackers and tight ends. Although the quarterback that Iowa has, his name is Cade McNamara. No, absolutely not. He is just not good. And the fact that Iowa thinks that they've got a quarterback who will actually give them offense this year is stupid. We've seen Cade McNamara before. We might have recognized his name. So he played quarterback at Michigan before he transferred out. Last time we saw him, we played him in the first time we lost, I think, to Michigan in 2021, where we played. That was the first year we lost, I think. We lost 3 times in a row now, right? That was the first time we lost. Cade McNamara. He put up like 150 yards and 1 interception. He didn't score a fucking touchdown against us, and they put up like 40-some points. They just ran the ball over us. So this quarterback's not good. He can't throw the ball, and even though Iowa's defense is good, Ohio State is way better. And we're playing Cade McNamara. I mean, I don't expect this to actually be close. I think people coming into it will be like, oh, are they on upset alert? Fuck no, we're not. Beating the shit out of Iowa. Okay, so next game, at Oregon. So this is where it gets tough. Because this is the toughest game. This is what I think is our toughest game of the year, Oregon. So their quarterback is Dylan Gabriel. He's the old starter from Oklahoma last year. You might have seen him pop off. He's kind of a fucking beast. Oregon's roster in general is crazy talented. I think we got a transfer receiver who went there too to already help out with all the weapons they had. Their defense is pretty good. We are going to Oregon to play this game. So the green and yellow is going to be popping off like fucking Sprite bottles and lemon heads and I don't even know what I was trying to say right there, but it's going to be green and yellow loud as shit in Eugene, Oregon. The one thing is, I mean, Dylan Gabriel's elite. He slings the ball downfield. They'll have options. I just think that Ohio State's defense is so good that we're able to get one more stop than they are. So I think when it comes down to it, like if I was picking one game that we lose, like I'm like, oh my God, did we lose? It might be this one. This is the game I'm most nervous about because Ohio State has not had any competition until now. Although the good thing is Oregon hasn't either. They played like Oregon State. It might be their toughest game up until this point. So it's a good thing they haven't been tested yet, as well as us. Like, we'll be prepared more. I think we get one more stop in them because our defense is elite, and we beat them by single digits. We're still undefeated. Now you guys are scared right there. Week 8, it's a bye week. Bye week, middle of the year. After we just had one week 3, I think it's weird. Okay, Nebraska in week 9. I do enjoy, like, the fact that we have Iowa, Oregon, like some tough matchups, and then a bye week to then come back and play 2 more tough games is big. I love that for us. I love it. So bye week and then week 9, Nebraska. People are talking like Nebraska might give us a go. Dude, if I had Nebraska is maybe they're on the come up. Like, they have that freshman quarterback, Dylan Raiola, who will probably start or be starting by the time we play them. He's like the hype is big for him, but they're coming to the Horseshoe. We are home. He's going to be a true freshman quarterback coming into the shoe, playing our defense. That's number 1. There's no fucking shot that they beat us. I think it's another fucking blowout, another dub. I shouldn't be worried about that shit. People are going to be chirping about that game too. Dude, shut up. Week 10, Penn State, at Penn State. This one's kind of scary too, because we have to go to Happy Valley, see the big ass whiteout. It's probably going to be a night game. I think might have came out with that yet. Oh, actually, no, they didn't. It'll probably be night game though, because it seems most fitting. I think this will be the 3rd toughest game of the year for Ohio State. Some of you will be like, 3rd toughest? Yeah, we still have Michigan later on. But 3rd toughest game of the year is this huge game, because this is kind of our last real test until Michigan. We need to be able to get through this. I think so. Penn State is very talented. Their backfield is one of the best in the nation. Not as good as ours, but it is. They have Katron Allen, who is one of the backs, I believe, and then Nick Singleton, I believe, is the other. They both were there last year. They both they just go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. They're very, very good. Their quarterback, though, Drew Aller, I am not a fan of. I know that all Penn State fans are, but I remember playing him last year, and our defense was very good last year, and he just seemed so bothered. He never got a rhythm. He was so nervous in the pocket. I don't see that getting better when he comes and sees our defense that we've literally revamped and thrown back out there to him. Our defense is very good. I know Penn State's will be all right. Penn State lost a couple D linemen who are very good. I know they've stocked up. They have Abdul Carter, I believe, on the end, who should be pretty good. Penn State's the end. There's another dude I'm forgetting. But, I mean, again, if I'm stacking up and I'm like, position for position, coach for coach, who's better? Like, quarterback. I'm giving that to us. I haven't even seen Will Howard play, because I've seen Drew Aller play. Our running backs, us. Receivers, us. Although Penn State does have Julian Fleming, old Ohio State receiver, who transferred to them. I think Fleming is a Penn State native, or the state of Pennsylvania, whatever. So he will probably be their number 1, I think. So hopefully we can try and lock him down. I mean, I don't think it will be that hard. I think this will be a tough game. I feel like I'm talking a lot about it, just going into nowhere. But I think it kind of smooths out in 4th quarter. We realize that, yeah, we got this in hand type thing. We've got the better coach. James Franklin is, I think the stat was 3-22 against top 10 teams. That's probably look up the history of that. That's probably the worst ever It's gotta be 3-22 against top 10 teams. So he can't fucking perform in big games. I like another win. On to week 12, Northwestern. I don't care. Oh wait, sorry, I skipped a week. My bad. Week 11. Oh shit, that's what happens, bro. That's what happens. See, you like look ahead one week and Purdue is sitting there ready to fucking just sweep you under a rug like a little tight little bug, dude. Oh my god. If nobody, it's Purdue is a team where you're like have high hopes for the season. You're like, oh my god, a playoff chance. Oh my god, a national championship chance. We're undefeated. We're top 5. And then you run into Purdue and then just quit looking at your feet. And then Purdue says, fuck no, dude. No way. So, let's stay locked in. I mean, I don't think we're actually going to trip up like that. We did 1 year. I think we did 2 years, actually, trip up to Purdue. I mean, everyone remembers the... Oh, my God. Yeah. They do it to everyone, too. Like, I think there's a stat you could probably look up that they are top-notch against top 10 teams. So, we are at home that game anyway. They're coming to us. I mean, we're not going to slip up, but that's just the past history. It's funny. Then on to week 12. I need to. Then on to week 12. Northwestern, they are not good. Nothing to worry about at all. Remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but we played Northwestern and it was super windy, so no one could throw the ball, so it was a super tight game, and it kind of scared us for a minute. I forget if that was last year or if that was 2 years ago. But that's not going to happen. That just popped into my mind. Cakewalk. Week 13. Indiana. No. We'll be huge favorites. This is the week before Michigan. So I do think there'll be a little looking ahead. You know, obviously I don't know what the spread will be when Indiana hits. But I would look to take maybe the Indiana to cover the points, thinking that we are just looking ahead. That'd be a little tip. But still win with ease. Okay, so week 14 is Michigan week. For the past 3 years, I get super fucking excited. We freaking party all day. When I say all day, it's always a noon game, so I wake up at fucking 5, 6 a.m. and then I party until game day. And then after we lose, it's more partying, but in a bad way because we lose. That's not happening this year. Michigan is our second toughest game of the year because they are Michigan. I don't think they have the second toughest team on our schedule. Penn State's a tougher team, but it's Ohio State, Michigan. This might be like Michigan might be 2 losses heading in to play us. Like if they win this game, they're going to be in the playoffs, and that's going to pump them up. So, I mean, they're going to be ready to play. It's Ohio State, Michigan with the added incentive of we can still get in the playoff and maybe shake things up. Like they're going to be ready. Good thing is though, we have Michigan at home this year. They are starting a brand new quarterback. Anytime you're doing that and you don't really know his name, that's a good sign. I think they're starting some dude named Orgy. So, I don't really know his name yet. Don't know what you want to do with that. They obviously have running back Donovan Edwards. He is a beast. We've seen that the past 2 years. The thing is how we beat Michigan is we cannot let them score first. We cannot let them get up on us quick. We have to fucking set the tone. We go out, we score first, we get a little lead, and then they can't run the ball every damn play. Because if they can do that and they can give him the ball 35 times, then we've got a game. But if we can make this new quarterback pass the ball, we got a fucking shot because our defense is fucking sick. We'll be able to get pressure on him. Our DBs are locked down. Our safeties will be there. I love it. I love it. I think if we can get up first, start playing our fucking ball, I think like we could actually pull away with this hard. And then we're not going to hold back because Michigan's just a bunch of fucking bitches. Fucking pussies, dude. Cheating ass Connor Stallions. They just created a not Netflix documentary, like, praising him, or the defending, I don't know, man. It was like all from just the dumbest shit. It's kind of pissing me off. So, yeah, I think we beat Michigan. We do what I just said. And we pull away with it, making us in the regular season undefeated. By the way, Ohio State only has 4 away games. Isn't that weird? I feel like that's too little. I don't know if that's normal for Ohio State. If somebody wants to check that, I have a computer in front of me, but I'm not going to go searching because I don't want to take up too much time here. The 4 away games, that's little. And, okay. Well, so, that concludes the regular season for Ohio State. We are undefeated. Now, we still have to play the conference championship game. Fucking big one. Huge emphasis on conference champs for this 12-team college football playoff now. So, for the Big Ten's conference championship, I just outlined that Ohio State is in fact going to go undefeated. So if you just want to pencil that in, you're good. Since we have 18 teams now, we are taking just the top 2 overall teams to play for the title. Now, there's no East and West. Like we had one good side, one bad side, and it was like weird. We don't have that shit anymore. The team that I think we will play in the playoff will be Oregon. I think Oregon doesn't have that. I don't want to say they don't have as many big games as some other teams in our conference. So I think Oregon can get by their schedule with only losing to us. Like, I think Oregon plays Michigan. And that's why I think Michigan won't be in it. Yes, because Oregon is going to beat Michigan. I think their offense is too talented for Michigan. They'll be able to do different things and get the ball out fast, and Dale Gabriel could sling it down the field on Michigan, even if the pass rush is getting close. I think they can take them. That's their only other big game of the year. So Oregon just loses to us. That's one loss. Beat Michigan. Everyone else is pretty much, you would pencil them in as a win. Only one loss. I think they're the team that gets to play in the Big Ten title. The other teams you would think of would be Michigan, but I already told you Michigan's losing to Oregon, Michigan's losing to Ohio State. That's 2 losses. They're already out. They also play Texas, the second game of the year. Texas is pretty damn good. I mean, Michigan has Texas at home, which is big for them, huge. But straight up, Texas is more talented, and Texas beats them. That's 3 losses. I mean, they can't make it. At least Michigan loses at least 2 out of 3 of those. So they'll have losses. I don't think they make it. Penn State would actually be my second pick to make the title game behind Oregon, if you're already penciling in Ohio State. Penn State, their one tough game is Ohio State, and we will beat them. I'm talking in certainty. I feel like it should bring good vibes and shit. Like, I should just talk it into existence. They only play Ohio State, so they only have 1 loss. If they go through their actual easy-ass schedule, because they do not play a hard schedule. If Penn State can get through with 1 loss, the only issue is If you look at the past 5 years, maybe going back farther than that, they at least lose 2 games a year. They have not had a 1-loss year in the last 5 years that I know of. Like, they always seem to screw up somewhere. And the fact that they have Drew Aller, which I don't like that much, I don't think he's the guy to give them that this year. So I don't know where it's going to be at, but I think Penn State loses at least 2 games. They lose the second one after OSU. So they don't get in. Top 2 teams, OSU, Oregon. It's a rematch. And this time, it's not in Eugene. It's in Indianapolis, where the Big Ten Championship is played. And that makes Ohio State more of a home team. So that shit will be lit. Came this far. I don't think we lose to Oregon again. I think going through a tougher schedule than Oregon, playing Penn State afterwards, playing Michigan afterwards, only going to help us. And so I think it's a bigger gap than the first time we beat Oregon for the Big Ten Championship, and we go undefeated in the regular season, in the championship period, you know what I mean? Take a swig of rain after that one. Yeah, so we do that to them. And so okay, watch this. If there was a tie, because if I was like, Penn State actually got through their schedule with just 1 loss, you're going to have tiebreakers. There's 18 teams in here. There's no way you don't go through these Power 4 conferences and not see a tie at the top, and you got to go through tiebreakers. So this is listed out as our tiebreakers. Number 1 tiebreaker would be head-to-head results during the regular season. Number 2 tiebreaker would be record against all common conference opponents. Number 3 would then be record against mutual conference opponents with the best record. Number 4, best Big Ten winning percentage of conference opponents. It's just a list of, I'm just reading off this list right here, because I don't know this shit by heart. They listed out everything. This is the exact same as the SEC, except for the SEC changed something for tiebreaker number 5. Hopefully it never gets to that point. Tiebreaker number 5, interestingly though, SEC picked point differential. So that's kind of unique. We have like some ranking and some analytics thing is our number 5, but the number 6 and very last tiebreaker, which wouldn't this be fucking funny, is you just draw names. That would be crazy. If you had to draw names to see if your team was playing in the conference championship, that would be insane. So, and that's going to go for all Power 4 conferences from 1 to 4. May differ from 4, 5, 6 on, or from 5, 6. I don't know, I just tried to say that differently. 5, 6, but yeah. So that's how tiebreakers will work. Now, I mean, I've talked a lot of Buckeyes and Big Ten, because, I mean, that's what we're here for, baby. But now I want to look at the other teams. I want to look at the other conferences. I want to look at how the 12-team playoff kind of works. And I'm trying to explain this just simply as possible, so you guys can understand if you don't know. Because I didn't know, there were some questions I definitely had before I was going to do this pod. I was like, man, I should probably look that up before I spit out some bullshit. So I said earlier on the show, the top 4 teams in the college football playoff, they get buys. If you're asking, hey, what seeds will those teams get? That's just decided by the selection committee. So that team will rank the best 1 through 4, and those will be the seeds. They get the bye week. Now those are from the Power 4 conferences, because that has changed this year. It's the Big Ten, SEC, ACC, Big 12. Now seeds 5 through 12 are also selected by the committee, but there's one stipulation, and the 5th seed has to come from a non-Power 4 conference. Now, the teams that actually play in week 1, seeds 5 through 12, seeds 5 through 8 have home games. There's playoff home games. So, which is fucking cool. I mean, it's just like the NFL. You got rights. You were better that year. There you go. You're playing a home game. Which is, it's pretty cool. I mean, that sounds pretty dope. Every game in the quarterfinals and on will be at neutral sites. It's just weird how they threw in home games for the first round and then they went to neutral sites afterwards and on. But whatever. The New Year's 6 bowl games, the really big ones that you always play near the end of the year, those will be played in the college football quarterfinals and the college football semifinals. And then the national championship is the national championship. But those 6 bowl games will just rotate. So, each bowl game, the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the whatever bowl, those will each get turns playing in the semifinals, those bigger games right before the title. So they'll just alternate those. But yeah, let's just round it off. Let's go. Already locked in Ohio State. They will be one of the teams with a bye week because they won the Big Ten title. So then I'm going to go to the next biggest conference, the other side of the Power 2, which really, it's like the Big Ten versus the SEC. Everyone pretty much knows it is. Let's go to the SEC. So, SEC is loaded. I mean, more so than the Big Ten. What's up, little chicken nug? What's up, little chicken nug? Yeah, what's up, baby girl? Yeah. SEC is loaded. They have 9 top 25 teams. The Big Ten has 6. So, let that rock your boat. I'm just going to start with, contenders who I think might win the SEC championship. Georgia, number 1 in the country, top dog. Texas is number 4 in the country. They're great, made the playoff last year. Quinn Ewers is back. Alabama is number 5 in the nation. They still are really good, but they lost Nick Saban, which is the reason they've been who they are for the past however many years. Get Kalen DeBoer from Washington, who just lost the national championship, so it's not like they're replacing him with a scrub. He actually knows what he's doing. So Bama's up there. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, although I just do not like Lane Kiffin. But Ole Miss is up. I think they're ranked in the top 10, I believe. They have a good team. They could do some damage. The other teams in the SEC are all good, but I don't look at them as they can win the SEC championship. If you're looking at Missouri, I don't like Missouri. I think that Missouri might look good because I think their schedule's super easy. There's some SEC teams who play a hard-ass schedule, and then they have, the easiest schedule, which is weird. They'll look good. I don't like their quarterback. His name's Brady. Yeah. Brady Cook, I believe. I don't think he's good. They do have a really good receiver, but I just do not like that team. Other teams like LSU. LSU is replacing Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, some defensive guys. They've got so much to replace to where LSU is a contender in the SEC. Nah, they're just middle of the pack there. Tennessee was middle of the pack, ranked 15th, I believe. They have Oklahoma in SEC now. They're ranked as well, but I know that they just have a very tough schedule, complete opposite of Mizzou. Maybe if they had a better schedule, you'd look at them different. Or I'd look at them different. But, so just going through the top contenders then after I take a drink, because I think I'm talking fast as fuck. And maybe I'm not, I'm just talking a lot. These solo pods are I just don't want that much dead space. I need to do one of those. Ma. Did you like that? Oh, you actually did like that. Okay. Good job. Good job. Good job. Maybe at the end of the pod, I'll show you to the people. Okay, Georgia is top dog, number 1 in the nation. Back-to-back champs 2 years ago. I'm just trying to block out Michigan. Okay. Where am I at? I'm losing my spot here because it took some time. Okay, Georgia actually has a very tough schedule. So they have, and they're away. They play at Texas, at Bama, at Ole Miss. That's number 4, number 5, number 6 in the country. And they're at every one of those teams. Freaking hard. I know they have quarterback Carson Beck is going to be Heisman favorite this year. They're always loaded because it's Georgia and they, top recruiting class in the nation every single year. But those are some hard fucking games. They also start the year with Clemson on Saturday at noon, which you probably won't have listened to this by now. I am thinking they take care of them. But what if? I mean, Clemson's decent this year. They also play Tennessee, who is a middle-of-the-pack SEC team. When I say middle-of-the-pack, I mean like ranked teams, but they're just common teams who are oh, you see, it's a brand name type thing. A brand name, they could be good type thing. So, I think Georgia has to lose one game this year. There's no way they go undefeated. No fucking way. They will at least lose one game. For sure. Those away games, tougher schedule. I mean, they lost once last year. Granted, it was the big one, but Bama this year, going to the top contender number 2, Bama. They had the home game against Georgia. But then after that, man, I mean, it's just those middle of the pack, ranked teams, those common dudes, it's Bama's better than you, but could they slip up? I don't know. It's kind of hard picking the SEC when you take a look at who some of these teams are playing. Alabama plays Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma. Those are all ranked teams. Semi-tough games. But I do think Bama's better. I think that if Bama beats Georgia, their huge game, they could be looking, man. Then they have everything going for them. If you just have to, looking forward, I mean, undefeated, that's an actual thing, crazy thing to throw out with so many bigger games this year. But, I mean, I just said Ohio State would do it, and I don't know. Alabama, I still think is talented. I think Jalen Milroe is pretty damn good. A lot of people just complain about, he can't throw the ball, he's not an actual quarterback. In college football, I just spit a little bit, you don't really have to be that fucking rope string pocket passer on a dime. I mean, his running game adds so much. And if Kalen DeVore can actually figure out the right things to do for their offense, I mean, I don't think you need to be that type of guy. So Alabama, I mean, undefeated, question mark? I don't know. Texas, other big team in the SEC. They play Michigan's second game of the year, like I said. They're at Michigan, at the Big House, which is scary because it's a scary place. Ohio State's been there before. But I just think Texas is better. I think they get by Michigan. And then they get Georgia at home. That'll be a tough one. Other than that, their schedule's pretty damn easy. So they have 2 huge games. That's it. Schedule's pretty damn easy. You look at Texas versus every other school they're playing, Texas. Easy. Thing is just getting by those teams. I do think they're good enough to. So I don't know. And then just the last team, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is basically a contender for me just based on their easy-ass schedule. I did say they play Georgia, and they have Georgia at home. But other than that, dude, their schedule's nothing. Like, they play in Baton Rouge, LSU. That's one ranked team. And then I think that's it. So, I mean, their schedule is not tough. If somehow they got by Georgia, they could be looking at a undefeated season. I don't know. I keep throwing out undefeated seasons for these SEC teams when I think everything is so hard. But it's like if one game goes your way, it changes the rest for everyone else in the rest of your season. I gave you kind of a synopsis of all the thoughts going in my head for all the contenders. I'm just going to say what I predict will happen. So, I do think Georgia is going to have 2 losses. I think they'll lose to Bama. I think they'll lose to Texas. They are going into Bama. They're going into Texas, playing those top teams. I think they lose 2 of those games. They finish the season with 2 L's. I think Bama, they beat Georgia, but they slip up once against one of those middle of the pack ranked teams. Because they have like 5 of them. I think they slip up once and they finish the end of the year with 1 loss. Bama does. Texas goes undefeated. I think they beat Michigan early on. It's tough when you're Michigan and you start off with a new quarterback. That early on playing such a good team, you're at such a disadvantage. You need time for that quarterback to get in rhythm, to learn everything. Like, it still takes actual game experience, not just a little training camp and off season. So Texas will beat them early on, and then Texas will beat Georgia. And the rest of their schedule is pretty easy, so it's undefeated for Texas. So I just do 2 undefeated teams. Ohio State and Texas. 2 undefeated teams on the year. That's crazy. Pencil that in. The team who I think is kind of a contender, like I said, Ole Miss. I think they'll lose the 2 games on their schedule that I pointed out. I think they'll lose to Georgia. Georgia will get one of those big games against them. And then I think they'll lose to LSU. I just don't think anytime Ole Miss has had a opportunity, they've fucked it up. And I don't think that changes. They're kind of like Penn State. It's like Ole Miss and Penn State are like, big year, we think so. Boom. Nope. So they'll fuck up, which puts them at 2 losses as well. So undefeated Texas goes against Alabama with 1 loss in the SEC championship game. And this is fucking huge. I do think Texas rolls it off and completes undefeated season just like Ohio State. Quinn Ewers is pretty damn good. And also, let's just say Quinn Ewers week 12 goes down with injury. You got backup Arch Manning. I mean, seriously, if you had to list a backup who you wanted or something, who wasn't starting already, that's top fucking tier backup. Arch Manning could start a lot of places. Not that that's just a weird thing I just said, but I'm saying depth is a big thing, especially playing so many games too. But Texas goes undefeated. So there we go. Ohio State, Texas, they are bye-week teams. I'm going to go on to the next one. Next conference, ACC. The ACC, actually, I don't even really want to talk about ACC. They actually are all kind of average in my eyes. They're just so subpar compared to, it seems like that when you talk about the Big Ten and the SEC. It really just seems like they're just down here. Fuck me. All right, so this camera's about to die. I think I still have this one rolling. I'm going to try to roll through this because fuck me if I've ever been. Okay, so ACC. Honestly, I thought FSU might do it. I was like, okay, maybe they're the team to come out of ACC. They just lost in week 0 to Georgia Tech. And I thought DJU was you're really cool, but he just has a cool name, basically. DJU. They lost. That doesn't take you out of the title hopes, but it's just really come on, dude. Losing to Georgia Tech, you're Florida State. You've got high hopes this year, and you do that. So it's just like, nah, I'm fucking done with them. Um, the thing I do hate about this is they're all so subpar that I feel like I have to pick a team that I don't like because of their history and because we also beat their ass in the national championship game 20 years ago, and that's Miami. I do not like Miami, and I don't want to pick them. But looking at every other single team, it's just like they're better. And there's one reason actually, because it's their quarterback is Cam Ward. If you don't know that name, he just transferred there. He's from Washington State. Can absolutely sling the ball. He's the number one transfer quarterback I wanted Ohio State to get. Didn't happen. He goes to Florida. Pretty dope for them. So I'm just looking at the quarterbacks in that division. He's the best. And then their schedule is freaking easy as can be. The one ranked team right now that Miami plays all year is Florida State. And Florida State just lost to Georgia Tech. So I'm like, dude, I can't just like take a shot in the dark here with somebody. That being said, that being said, dark horse in the ACC though. I'm not saying like dark horse like dark horse, like, throw some money on it or something. SMU, Southern Methodist University, Dallas, Texas. My boys down south. So they barely beat Nevada. They beat them by like 5 in week 0. I know that's bad because I think they're big favorites, but I swear they could be good. Their quarterback, Preston Stone, he's pretty good. There's multiple receiving options. There's multiple running backs that they have that can fucking take it to the house. They got fast dudes, shifty dudes. They outscored Nevada 16-0 in that fourth quarter in week 0. So I mean, they came up big when it freaking mattered. And if they just needed like some 3 quarters to get right, they actually need to play some fucking football, and they can just take this to all through the year. They can do that. I mean, looking at SMU's schedule, they don't play fucking hard teams. Their hardest teams are again against FSU, who's ranked, and they just lost. In like TCU, I would say is their next toughest, which they're unranked and nobody really knows about them. But TCU is the next hardest game. They could put some shit together. If you were SMU and you had 2 losses at the end of the year, you might be in the ACC title game. Also, with a little sprinkle of salt, I do play with SMU in NCAA college football 25 in a dynasty league with all my friends. So this is me knowing their team. Like, I know their team, and maybe there's a little like bias behind what I'm saying, but it's just like, hey, you got $5, boom, dark horse SMU. Just look out for him. I think you have an easy schedule. Okay, last of the Power 4. We're going to go with the Big 12, because that's what it is, Brady. It's the Big 12. Now, there's a couple teams I like here. I think the Big 12 is kind of like the Pac-12 from last year, where there's not like one powerhouse, but there's a bunch of pretty good teams. And it's going to make it history, because I think at the end of the year, there's going to be a few teams that are like, it might come down to a tiebreaker. There's a few teams that could be up there. Arizona, pretty good. They have the quarterback Fafita, which is pretty damn good. He was hurt a little bit last year, but then when he started playing at the end of the year, slanged the ball. He also got a really good receiver to go with him. So that connection could take him down the road. Colorado is now in the Big 12. Coach Prime, Shador, Travis Hunter. They'll have some star dudes. It's just, do you have the O-line? Do you have the defense? They're missing big parts, so it's just kind of tough. They got the stars. Kansas with quarterback Jalen Daniels. This is an interesting one. Jalen Daniels was hurt all of last year. I think he played like 3 games. He had a back issue. Now, he's good. He's the guy I always get mixed up with Jaden Daniels from LSU, who's now in the NFL with the Commanders. They have similar fucking names, and to me, they look the same. He's pretty damn good. I remember, I think A couple years ago when Kansas, 2 or 3 years ago, I don't know how long he's been there. A couple years ago, Jalen Daniels was playing. I think he got hurt that year too, but he was what got them to where they're going to compete for a Big 12 championship, um, or close to it in contention. But he's there. He's back. He's healthy now. Um, I like him. Kansas State, they're ranked. They've got a quarterback who they think they believe in and who's better than Will Howard now. They're pretty much just like, sweet, we just upgraded anyway. So whatever. They also got, if you remember, Dylan Edwards, the running back from Colorado. He he just had his moments, but he's added to their squad, so that adds another like fun piece for Kansas State to fuck with. Oklahoma State has the best running back in the country, Ollie Gordon, the second, or is it the third? Ollie Gordon. I'm just gonna go with Ollie Gordon. I think he won the running back award, the Doak Walker, last year. He's really good. Veteran quarterback Adam Bowman, or oh my god, veteran quarterback Alan Bowman. Sorry, Bowman, or podmate Adam Bowman. That's where I got mixed up. I got to pee, dude, so bad. Alan Bowman. He's a senior. He's been there for a couple years, at least when I watched Oklahoma State starting. So, veteran quarterback, best running back in the country, Oklahoma State, maybe, maybe, maybe. I'm trying to talk fast, so I pee, but I'm just spitting out of words. TCU is like, probably not. Oh, Iowa State, I've heard rumblings about, but probably not. Utah, they're probably the favorite to win the conference. They have quarterback Cam Rising back this year for his seventh fucking season of college football. He's 25 years old. 25 years old. That's, I mean, you're still in college, dude. He's the guy who almost beat Ohio State in that Rose Bowl 3 years ago. That's 3 years ago. He was nice, and he's the quarterback now. Utah always has a good defense. The environment there, like if you looked up top 10 stadiums, Utah's top 10. So when you're going in there, it's tough. So they'll have that going for them. The thing is, I think I like these two teams here. I think I like Kansas. I don't know how many people are going to say this. I think I like Kansas. They play Kansas State, which is their only ranked game. And I think in the conference, they have a top three quarterback in Jalen Daniels. His ceiling is very high. Like if he is back healthy the whole year, I like him. I want him to remind me of Jaden Daniels some more, and I would fuck with him. Utah, or Jesus Christ, I just gave up my next pick. Kansas goes to the title game in the Big 12. Now, Utah will play them. Utah plays Oklahoma State. Utah plays Arizona. Those are both good teams. Like I said, they have some good pieces. But with Cam Rising being so freaking experienced, being to a Rose Bowl, playing Ohio State, being a Heisman candidate for a couple years, he's already faced all of that pressure. He knows what comes with all of it. They've had the same coach for years who's very good. Their environment is excellent. They didn't have Cam Rising last year, and they still went 8-4 in the Pac-12. Pac-12 was loaded last year, freaking loaded, and they're only playing against Oklahoma State and Arizona this year. I think Utah is kind of a pencil into the championship game. So they play Kansas. I am going to take Utah. Psych! Let's go Kansas, baby. I don't know if I tricked you there. I don't know. I was trying to do something different. I think I should have went for it. Maybe I take acting classes. Yeah, maybe. I'm going Kansas. So I think I'm just gonna like bet on Jalen Daniels being sweet again. And it just sounds funny that like you're like Kansas as a football team. It sounds funny, but I think it'd be a really cool story. Um, that's not the only reason I'm picking Kansas for a cool story. I actually believe in them. So Kansas takes the Big 12. Now, that just rounds everything off. I know I've rattled for a while, and it was kind of a lot of nonstop. I kind of did that on purpose because so much information, if I just dragged everything along, it would be boring. Maybe it still is boring. Let me know. But I know a few of you said you wanted a college football pod before it started, so I'm trying to piece this one out. So to recap here, my top 4 seeds on bye week, because top 4 get bye week, could be Ohio State undefeated, Texas undefeated, Miami in the ACC, and Kansas in the Big 12. So we'll look back on these. You'll either tell me what a great job I did or what a dumbass I am. It's all good. It's all fun. It feels like I just did like some March Madness spinoff type shit. So that has me. I mean, it's awesome. I fucking love college football. There's like 20 games on tonight or some shit. It's Thursday. I'm about to pop these on, edit this if I need to. I probably don't because I'm actually pretty damn good at this. I'm a veteran. But yeah, those would be the top 4 teams. The last 8 spots of the top 12, I'm not going through. Those are probably most likely going to be filled with the other good teams that I talked about. It's just that I'm not trying to piece in seeds like and base how good they are off of not even seeing them play. That would just be weird and difficult. I thought that was just easier to do 4 conference winners, and then at the end of the year, I'm going to, when they actually have the 12 team created, ready to go, I'll do another pod, and I'm going to go through what I think for the entire playoff and see what's up, see how much I can get right. Perfect bracket incoming. Maybe the other guys want to do it with me. Bowman Josias Hunter. Maybe they want to do the pod with me and we do like college football episode type thing. We'll see. We'll just see when it comes months down the road. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said at the top of the episode, our NFL predictions week. I actually don't even know if I mentioned that. Is next week. It's going to be out Thursday morning, because we have the NFL starting next week and it's big shit. So I know our normal pod took a week off this week, but at least I filled you guys in with some college shit. NFL next week, it's huge, man. It's always a fun episode to start the year off with your boys, picking teams and making bets in the NFL. So tune the fuck in, lock the fuck down, and let's ball out, baby. Cheers.
Bubba. Yeah, there you go. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Good job.